Okay, I'm going to start recording now. So our guest host tonight is Josie Nakoi. She is actually one of the girls that I probably know the best out of all the Bombshell Dynasty girls, but she is one of the most genuine, real people that you will ever meet. She is straight to the point. That's probably why we get along. She knows tough love leadership, but she also has a very graceful presentation. And so she is you're a 4-star diamond?
4-star qualifying.
4-star qualifying. So 3-star diamond, 4-star qualifying. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. That means she's been in Success Club 10 over 24 months. And she has an amazing team that has a great team culture, the Boss Ladies. And you guys are going to learn a lot from her. If you guys did not see her call from earlier this year, it has been like coveted as like one of the best calls in the Bombshell Dynasty. So if you did not see the recording, let me know. I can tag you in it in our team page. But it is like people are still like raving about it, including Lindsay. Like they're like, that was the best call ever. Like Lindsay never lets anybody go over on time. And she's like, go ahead, Josie, just go. Like, just go on. Yeah, I'll tag you guys for sure. So if you have questions, Josie, do you want them to save them to the end? Okay. So save them to the end. She'll type them in the chat box, or as they go along, she'll answer them all at the end. And so make sure you have your notebooks ready. And I'm going to hand it on over to her.
Yay! Thank you for the intro. Okay, you guys, so what I would love for you to do is save your questions till the end. So if you have a question like mid-talk, write it down, and then raise at the end, I'll ask and raise your hand and I'll call on each of you, and that works so much better than like me trying to read all these questions and then I just become a hot mess. So I don't do slides. I don't know if you guys are used to slides or not, but here's the thing. So with Beachbody, you have to remember that this is your own business. And this is the hardest thing you'll ever do, you know that. But for the longest time, I never ever did team calls because all I ever saw and all I knew was the Bombshell Dynasty call every Monday night, which was these huge, elaborate slides. I mean, it was crazy. And it stressed me out because I am what I call a recovering perfectionist. So nothing's ever good enough for me. And anybody raise your hand if you struggled with perfectionism? Okay, cool. So you know that you get paralysis of analysis with perfectionism. Nothing's ever good enough. You can sit on it forever and then nothing gets done. And that just creates inaction. So finally, like, because for the longest time, I didn't even lead team calls for my team. And it was just because I was like, my slides will suck, blah, blah, blah. And finally I said, you know what, this is stupid. I have something to say. I don't have time to make slides. I don't want to make slides. Slides are not my specialty. So screw it. I'm not making slides. So Lindsay is the only person I'll make slides for, my coach. But that's the thing, you guys. Run your business how you want to and how you are most comfortable with. If you try and be like every other coach out there, it's not going to work. And you're going to never feel as if you're good enough, and you're always going to feel frustrated. So do what I did and be like, okay, you know what? That's her thing. That's great. I'm going to do it my way. That's what you have to do. So raise your hand if you brought something to take notes with tonight. Okay, awesome. I do believe that the smartest people ask questions. So don't be afraid to ask me questions at the end of this call. I'm going to go through what I wrote down. But I want to call on a couple people first. Safe zone, to be totally honest. I'm not going to like, yell at you or anything like that. I'm going to go to Jennifer. If you can take yourself off mute, or maybe Megan can. I want you to tell me, do you work outside the home or in the home?
I do not work outside the home, no.
Okay, so what is one of the first things you do when you wake up, when you're still in bed?
When I'm still in bed, I usually check my phone, look at the messages that I've received, and then also check to make sure I pre-schedule all of my challenge group posts. Mm-hmm. So I check to make sure that post went through, and then comment on any replies that have come up since it auto-posted.
Okay, who else does this? Raise your hand. Anybody else? Okay, so 3 people. So only 3 people on this whole call check their phone first thing in the morning? 3 people within your first Yeah, I'm seeing those hands.
I'm still trying to break the habit. You can't help it. Like, unless you like put your phone away.
You can't help it, and we're going to talk about that tonight.
I
know. So, raise your hand if you've read The Miracle Morning. Oh, okay, we got 2 people. Okay, so write that down. The Miracle Morning. It's by Hal, Hal, Elrod, Elrod. I want you guys to get that on Audible tonight. Does everybody have Audible? Raise your hand if you have Audible. Okay, Audible saved me. If you're a busy person, get Audible. It's free to download the app. It's through Amazon. I think it's like 13 or 14 bucks a month, but it's a tax write-off, and you get a free book each month, no matter the price of the book. I mean, I've gotten like several volumes of like a live seminar book type thing that was like $45. I got it for free as my credit. And if you don't use your credits, they roll over to the next month. Like, seriously, Audible should hire me because I'm always like just talking about them nonstop. So Audible is great. I love it. Okay, so here's the thing. Social media is very draining, okay? Especially when we work on social media like we do. If first thing in the morning, the first hour of your morning, if you are checking your phone for Facebook posts, messages, especially emails, you are draining yourself and you are ridding your brain of all creativity. And that is true. And this used to be my biggest thing. I would lay there and I would return messages. I would post in my group. I'd post on my page. It was ridiculous. And then I realized how much that was hurting my morning. So I'm going to challenge you to give yourself freedom in the morning, stay off social media for at least the first 30 minutes, okay? Whether you work in the home or work outside the home, 30 minutes. I'm also going to challenge you to wake up earlier, all right? Who works outside the home? Raise your hand. Cool, okay. Who wants to be able to go part-time or quit their job? Raise your hand. Okay, cool. So I was a full-time hairstylist when I started with Beachbody. I was working 10 to 12-hour days. I would always say I'm not a morning person. I've always been a night owl, like big time. But here's the thing, you gotta stop saying, I'm not this, I'm not that, because your brain cannot differentiate between what you tell it and what's reality. Okay, so remember that, and that's true. It's the RAS part of your brain. There's actually a little part of your brain that it cannot differentiate between what you tell it and what is real. So stop saying you're not a morning person. But every day after I'd get home from the salon, I would work on my Beachbody business. And you guys, we are so lucky to be able to do the business that we do, because as a hairstylist, I would get approached from so many different people, and it was all about like, oh, you should sell this, or I'm selling this. Do you want to sign up under me? It was like makeup stuff. It was even like sex toys at one time. It was like the most ridiculous stuff. Okay, I'm like, my mom would die. Like, she would disown me. But it was just like the craziest stuff. And I would listen to them, right? Because I'm not going to bash any other companies or anything like that. But here's what I noticed. I noticed that people would have to take out thousands of dollars to start their business. One of my friends who was doing a popular makeup company, she goes, oh, it's so great, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, how much did it start? Or how much did it cost you to start? And she said, oh, well, I took out a credit card for $3,500, but I'll make it all back. I'm like, girl, you crazy. You don't go that deep into debt to become financially free. You just don't. It doesn't make sense. So I'd hear things like that. And then I'd hear people say things like, oh, well, we do home parties, blah, blah, blah. You should refer somebody. And I'm like, I ain't got time to do a home party. Like, no, nor do I want to be going up into people's houses and like selling. No, that is just awkward. I don't want to make time for that. Okay, so we are so lucky that we don't have to have any inventory. Our startup fees are low, and we can work from home in our pajamas. And so that's what I would do every day when I would get off at the salon. When I knew that I needed to up my game, because I had been able to go part-time at the salon about like 6 months in, I knew that I wanted to quit. Hairstyling was never my passion. It's never something I wanted. And you know, this applies to anybody who works in the home too, because I know you still got goals, whether that's to retire your spouse, have a cushy savings account, whatever. So I started getting up an hour earlier each morning. and I would do a power hour. And now I know this is hard, raise your hand if you do a power hour consistently every day. Okay, so if you want to see your business take off, this is what you have to do, and you have to implement it starting tomorrow if you really want to reach the goals that you say you want to reach, because you have to raise the bar on yourself. So, by the way, these are like my notes. This is like the last part of my call. I'm going to be all over the place, but that's okay. So, with a power hour, here's the thing. This is not, okay, so there's going to be a runner hour I'm going to tell you about, and then there's going to be a power hour. The runner hour is the first hour of your day. Write this down, runner hour. That is what sets the tone for the rest of your day. Runner, R-U-N-N-E-R, runner hour, okay? Now, if you wake up and you're like, oh my God, like if you're like I used to be, the first thing you think is, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm so tired. Like, I should have got this many more hours. Like, if you wake up like that, if you wake up and you lay in bed first and do stuff on your phone, because let's be honest, we're not just working when we check our phone first thing in the morning, okay? If you're like me, you're scrolling Pinterest or whatever, you're setting the tone for the rest of your day. And the rest of your day is going to go pretty shitty, okay? It's not going to have the effectiveness that you could have if you started your hour as a runner hour. So a runner hour is you don't hit snooze. You don't check social media. What I do, you guys, because my phone is my alarm clock, I will log out of the Facebook app. I'll log out of all apps. I'll even like take the little app icon and just like swipe it to the next page so it's not where I normally think it is. Because trust me, I'm sure that you too have like gotten into your phone before and then you just pulled up the Facebook app and you didn't even know you did it because it's a habit, okay? I've done that. I'm like, what am I doing? Like 20 minutes later, okay, it's a habit. So I will move it around because then when I go there to hit it, it's not there. Okay, also what I did too when I got like really balls to the wall, I went to Walmart and I got a little alarm clock, just a regular old cheap alarm clock, and I set that across the room because I am a snooze queen. My alarms have alarms. Like, it's pathetic. So I told you, I wasn't a morning person. So you wake up. You first write down exactly how your runner hour is going to go. I wrote down every 15, like the first 15 minutes of my runner hour, which was, I literally wrote down peeing, brushing my teeth, and drinking 2 glasses of water. The next 25 minutes of my runner hour was pio. And then I ended my runner hour with, what did I do? Like breakfast and then meditation. Okay. And I can't tell you, talk about setting the tone for the rest of your day. I was so centered. I felt so in control. I was able to handle anything that came at me. My business, or my team did better because I was doing better. The speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. Remember that. Speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. However well you do is how well your coaches are going to do. So you might have one who goes above you, beyond you. They're going to break away. All right. So start your runner hour. Okay. Do a runner hour. That's a runner hour. Power hour. This is when you sit down to work. Okay. So when you sit down to work, you can have absolutely no distractions. So no phone. All right, turn it on silent. Turn it off if you really want to. But I don't turn it off because I set alarms. I am somebody who was diagnosed with ADD as a kid. I never went on medicine for it. And it's so hard for me to focus. But you know what? I think that we kind of have an ADD society because of how our culture is now. We have so many distractions coming at us, all different forms. I don't care who you are. We live in a distracted society nowadays. I mean, it's terrible. It's a really bad thing. So no notifications when you log on to Facebook, because it's very hard, you guys. How we work on Facebook, that is hard, okay? Because Facebook is meant for entertainment. So you have to be so disciplined in that you don't check the little red notifications at all. Don't check them for your power hour, 1 hour. All right, I set my alarm for 15-minute increments. Write that down, 15-minute increments. That will help you. Inviting, returning messages, creating creative posts, anything like that, or scheduling posts, anything like that. Those all fall into my power hour. But here's what you want to start with, okay? And write this down. Create your power hour to-do list the night before, okay? Create it the night before you go to bed. Because if you're like me, raise your hand if you've ever been laying in bed and you're laying there awake trying to sleep thinking of everything that you need to do the next day. Okay, okay, this will help you. Isn't that the most annoying thing in the world? You're like, oh, if I go to bed right now, I'll get 7 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. Okay, so this is what you need to do. I do that all the time. It's so stupid. All right, but I don't do that when I write down my power hour the night before. I write down my to-do list in my power hour the night before I have it done. And then it's great because when I wake up and I go to do my runner hour, I'm not thinking of what everything I need to do on my to-do list because it's already been written down. Okay, so you guys have a planner? Raise your hand if you have a planner. If you don't have a planner, I'm not judging. I didn't have a planner for like my first year as a coach. I like had little Post-it notes everywhere. I told you I'm not organized. Okay, so I have a day designer. I love it. I got it from Target. I don't think Target sells it anymore. Anybody have a day designer? Raise your hand. Oh, isn't it amazing, Jennifer? Do you love it? Yeah, okay. So this is why I like it. Let me show you. Okay. So, it goes by hour. I think it goes in 30-minute increments all through here. It has a place for tonight. It has a place for gratitude. And then it has your to-do list. It has your top 3 most important tasks. And it always has like a cute little quote, which I just love. And then it has an extra space for notes. Okay, I love this. This is perfect for me because normally I'm somebody who rebels against planners. I'm not an emerald personality. Don't color code shit for me. I don't want to see it unless it's like, I don't know, popsicle or something. Like I just don't want to see it. Like I don't do that. So a planner is amazing. Okay, so once you make your to-do list for your power hour, here's the smartest thing you will ever hear in your life that I heard in Dave Ramsey's EntreLeadership. Raise your hand if you've listened to that or read it. Write it down. EntreLeadership. Dave Ramsey, EntreLeadership. Okay, I think we need to mute somebody. Ronnie, can you go on mute? Sorry to call you out. Okay, so here's the smartest thing I ever heard. Because if you're only doing busy work, you're going to stay busy and then your business will not move ahead, okay? So what I do is I first make my to-do list. And then I go next to each task that is an RIA. Write that down, RIA. That stands for Revenue Increasing Activities, okay? So my A tasks are my key tasks. Those are what I do first and foremost in my power hour because your revenue increasing activities are the things that are going to bring income to you and put food on the table, okay? We all have to eat. So revenue increasing activities would be inviting, returning messages from potential challengers, things like that, creating content for your page. And so I will go next to each thing on my to-do list and I will put an A next to the RIAs, okay? And that tells me these are the tasks that have to be completed today. And I try and do them first. At the end of the day, if I look and those A tasks are not done yet, I know I still got work to do. All right, this will change the course of your business. This is what caused me to grow a huge team. This is what caused me to be able to quit my job. And this is coming from somebody who had like, I don't know, like over 250 Success Club points last year. Okay, I know this business. So this is what helped me tremendously. And this is for anybody with, if you want to build up your savings account, if you want to bring your spouse home, if you want to pay off debt, this will take your business to the next level. Okay, now let me go to my notes. Okay, so who here struggles with the confidence to invite? Okay, does anybody struggle with the confidence to create posts on your page that are deep and that tell your story, like hard things you've been through? Okay, so human beings seek out 2 feelings in life. Our bodies are programmed to only seek out 2 feelings, and those feelings are pain and pleasure. Every decision we make in life is either seeking pain or avoiding pleasure, or seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. Okay, so procrastination is what happens when you know you should do something, but you don't. And it's because you link more pain to taking action than you do putting it off. Procrastination means putting off the pain, and that's why you do it. Then, when you get close to the deadline, I've done this, all of a sudden, your brain links up not taking action as much more painful than inaction. Because I have procrastinated, oh my gosh, you guys, I will glamorize my excuses. I will make them sexy. I will sell them to you with glitter on top. And then the closer I get to my deadline, I'm like, oh shit. And all of a sudden, what I was linking pain to before is now flipped. And I'm like, I got to take action. Okay. So here's what I recommend. And this helped me tremendously. You can instantly make a change by what you link pain and pleasure to. The problem is, most people make decisions of what gives them pain and pleasure in the short term, okay? So who here is, one of your goals is striving to be debt-free? Raise your hand. Okay. Who here, raise your hand if one of your goals is to, I know I said quit your job, is to like retire your spouse. Raise your hand. Okay, awesome. And I know we all want a very nice cushy savings account, which you guys can have, all right? So let me see, what did I write here? Okay. In order to succeed, the things we value most, which is everything I just said, retiring your spouse, becoming debt-free, things like that. In order to succeed, the things we value most require us to be able to break through the wall of short-term pain in order to have long-term pleasure in the first place. So this is what I realized. Instead of linking pain to inviting, to all these things that are uncomfortable and you don't want to do, to getting out of bed early in the morning to do your runner hour, to hit snooze one more time. Stop linking pain to all these things that will cause you to have an amazing life and start linking pleasure to them. Think about what the effect will be after you do these tasks, after you start inviting, after you get up and don't hit snooze, after you complete your runner hour without checking social media first thing in the morning. These things will all push you towards your goal, and you have to start linking it pleasure to these things that you currently dislike. So one thing that I do, is anybody a fan of Brené Brown? Raise your hand. Okay, freaking love her. Power of Vulnerability. Write this down. Write this down. Power of Vulnerability. This book's going to change your life. It's by Brené Brown. Don't read it. Get it on Audible. She's so freaking funny. It's amazing. So it's Power of Vulnerability. Saved my life. Okay, so like I said earlier, the RAS part of your brain that cannot differentiate between what you tell it and what's reality, anytime I want or I need to do something that I don't want to do, which is usually every day, the thing that I don't want to do, I will literally tell my brain, I will say to myself, pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Okay? I'll say pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. I do that because your brain will start linking pleasure to that thing which you are telling it to. All right? That is not a lie. That is science. I first heard it from Tony Robbins. Oh, he's amazing. And so I started doing that. And you know what? It started working. What I wanted to procrastinate on or what I wanted to avoid became less painful. I was also able to apply this to things like when I drink wine. Oh, I love it. Raise your hand if you love wine. Yeah. Okay. I feel like crap after I have wine. I feel horrible. It just does something to my stomach, even if I have just like a glass. So what I've done sometimes is I will see a glass of wine and I will just say to myself, pain, 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 pain. Okay. And Brené Brown, who is a doctor of, I can't remember what it is exactly, but she talks about this in her book, pain, 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 pain. So start doing that. When you start seeing yourself wanting to avoid something that is good for moving your business ahead, say pleasure, 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 and it will instantly become more desirable. When you want to hit snooze, when you want to go to that Facebook app and mindlessly scroll, think to yourself, pain, 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 pain. All right? I'm so dead serious because this will work. I promise you. And it's simple. It's so simple, but it works. Okay. Let's see here. How am I doing on time? Okay. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Let me go over my notes. All right. Who here has a page, a Facebook page? Raise your hand. Okay. If you don't have a Facebook page, I believe that you are doing your business a disservice, okay? Because there is so much more potential for growth with a Facebook page than there is on a regular timeline. Also, if Facebook catches you trying to sell anything on a regular timeline, they could also completely delete your account. You could try and log in one day and it'll be gone. All your pictures, everything, completely deactivated. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you how it is. So I highly recommend a page. Also, if you have a page, I recommend you stop posting on your regular personal timeline. Yeah, I'm talking about a like page. Yeah, I recommend that you stop posting on your personal timeline, because here's the thing. When I first started my page, I would post on both. I'd post on my personal timeline, I'd post on my page. And then over time, I'd make a post on my personal timeline and it went over great. And I'm like, I wish I posted that on my like page. All right, or vice versa. And it got to be this huge juggling act, and it was freaking stressful. And then a funny thing happened, and this is where the flip happens sometimes, and maybe you've noticed this already or not. The more successful you get, sometimes you get some haters. And I started having more people, followers on my like page, liking and commenting on my posts than my friends on my personal timeline. And it got to be such a juggling act, and it was so ridiculous that finally I said, screw it. I am not posting on my personal timeline anymore. And here's the thing. We teach people how to treat us. So this was my theory. I said, you know what? If people want to see what I'm up to, I'm going to train them that they can come to my page. And that's what I did. I completely stopped posting on my personal timeline. I'll upload pictures to the albums. I'll share like cute puppies and kitties, funny videos, stupid shit like that. But other than that, I'm not making status updates. I'm not doing anything like that. That is all on my like page. And I will share posts on my like page to my personal timeline. Okay, so raise your hand if you ever share posts from your like page to your personal timeline. Okay, I don't share every single post, but I share the good ones. All right, here's a tip. When you go to share a post from your like page to your personal timeline, don't do it right after you make the post, okay? Because Facebook knows these algorithms are a bitch, and they know what you're up to, and they will limit your views. So what I'll do is I'll make a post, and then usually like either I give it at least an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour before I share it to my timeline. Usually what I'll do is I'll make the post in the morning, and later that afternoon or that evening, I'll share it to my personal timeline, okay? And that works well because people in my friends list who aren't necessarily following my page, or however the algorithms are set up and don't necessarily see all my posts, see that. I notice this all the time. So, and I'm always paying attention to who's interacting with what. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I want to say after covering the cost of your Shakeology, 10% of your Beachbody income has to go to advertising. Okay, who's advertising on their like page? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Okay, so 10% is a standard business rule, but make sure that's 10% after you cover the cost of your Shakeology. Okay, so when it comes to posting on your whatever, your timeline or your like page, look excited, you guys, all right? Look excited, because if I were to tell you to stand up and act crazy and act like you're having the most fun time in your life, you would be moving around and probably dancing, okay? Like, I'm known to moonwalk all around my house in socks, looking like a skank, just cleaning, doing whatever, because that makes cleaning fun for me. I will only clean if I can dance and listen to loud music. So you would move around. If I told you to stand up and act cool, what would you do? You wouldn't move. You would not move, okay? So that's the thing. So many people are afraid of what others think about them that when they post, it's very, I don't want to say cliche, but it's pretty just like, or like, just generic. Like, it's like, they're, I don't know. But if you post like you are freaking excited about life, yeah, it looks silly, but people pay attention to that because it makes them feel good. I also always say, like, act more excited, or no, look more excited in your selfies than what you feel. And that's because sometimes if you have resting bitch face, how you feel on the inside isn't going to show up with your pictures on the outside, okay? And so when you look more excited, that makes people want to latch on to whatever you're doing and follow you. If you are going to run some errands, okay, post a picture of you with your errands and a big old smile and talk about how you're going to run these errands and you're so excited because you got your workout in this morning or your miracle morning done and you feel better and whatever. Just go from there. But you guys, you gotta post selfies of yourself. Who posts? Raise your hand if you post more than 3 selfies a week. Okay, good. Keep doing it, okay? Because here's the thing. I used to be a pretty cynical, negative person back in the day, and I used to think that selfies were vain. I used to think if you posted a lot of selfies, you were vain. And then Brittany Leggett posted in our Dynasty group something about if you want more engagement, post more selfies. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's not true. But I always test things out. I have these logic. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. So I tried it for a week straight. I posted more selfies and it felt awkward to me. It felt uncomfortable, but my engagement increased by a lot. All right. And that's because people felt more connected to me because I'm a writer at heart. I like to write, but when I would post selfies and write something with that selfie, my engagement increased. People like to connect to other people. Who does live videos? Raise your hand. Okay. Who does regular videos? Anybody do regular videos? Raise your hand. Awesome. Do more videos. I want to challenge you guys to do a video a week. Who's been doing a video a week? Raise your hand. Okay. Here's the thing. This is what I love about the compound effect. Raise your hand if you've read the compound effect. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yes. I knew you were all smart people. Okay. Let me see here. How many weeks till end of 2016? I want to say it's like 20 something. Okay. 177 days. Give me a second. Work with me. We have 25 weeks until the end of the year. So we have 25 weeks until 2017. If you were to start doing a video a week, you would have 25 videos by the end of the year on your page, okay? That's a lot of content because when people go to your page or when people like your page and they're scrolling through your content, they're gonna see all these videos. They're gonna be like, wow, this person's legit. Always give your videos a title, okay? And make it kind of catchy. I always say make it a shock factor. With any post that you make, you better write this down. You better have that first sentence be a shock factor, something that people wouldn't expect, okay? Because that is going to make people stop and take notice. If you just started out with, had a beautiful day today, the sun looked gorgeous. Girl, I'm gonna scroll right on past you. That's boring me. Stop it. Like, make your post, start it out with a shock factor in the first sentence. Trying to think of ways to do this. I do this all the time. But it's smart to do that because we live in a scroll-on society. People just scroll and scroll and scroll. People will likely read the very first sentence, but then they'll stop. Okay, so if you were to go totally balls to the wall and do 2 videos a week, that's 50 videos. That's 50 videos of content for your page by 2017. You guys, it all adds up. The little things add up each week. And don't think they have to be perfect. You can do a live video and then you can do one that's recorded. It doesn't matter. But think about how the little things affect you. I always like to break things down like that and reverse engineer my goals. It helps me tremendously. Okay, who schedules their posts? Raise your hand. Okay, scheduling your posts will save you so much time. I wish I had done it sooner. I was kicking myself for not doing it sooner, but I usually would fly by the seat of my pants, and that won't get you as far as if you actually planned, okay? So I want to talk to you about filler posts. Filler posts are easy posts that don't take a lot of thought, and which is why I schedule them. Okay, so otherwise you will be wasting so much energy on easy posts when that energy should be used towards well thought out posts. posts that tell your story, things like that. So this is a guideline, you can do it whatever day you want. Every Friday, plan out 7 posts for the next Sunday through Thursday, okay? I say Sunday through Thursday because Sunday through Thursday are the most active on Facebook. Sunday night through Thursday night, the most active times. Nobody's on there paying attention Friday through Saturday. Okay, so Sunday through Thursday, schedule 2 recipes, 2 positive quotes, 2 funny memes. I like laughter, I like comedy, so I always throw in a meme. And 1 overcome or accomplishment post. Now, this goes along with sharing your story, things like this. So your brain's energy should go towards posts that describe why you love coaching and what it's done for you without mentioning Beachbody at all. If you simply post things like, I love my Beachbody team. If you're interested in coaching, please shoot me a message. That's not exciting at all. Like, that sucks. Don't do that. Tell people why they should be interested in coaching and what it has done for you and what can they expect from the coaching experience. And be relatable, you guys. Don't think that you have to have crazy success with money to be getting new coaches, because that is not true. The post where I make, where I say like, oh, I've been able to earn 6 figures with Beachbody, like that was a huge goal of mine, was to become a 6-figure earner. When I post those, oh my gosh, they flop. They flop so bad. I'm always like, this is going to be awesome. Everybody's going to want to join my team. And then they just, because nobody can relate to that. Nobody relates to that at all. What they do relate to is feeling good, gaining confidence, building friendships, wanting to get in shape, and wanting to earn a little extra and not live paycheck to paycheck. So I'm going to write that again so you can remember this. They relate to feeling good, gaining confidence, building friendships, wanting to get in shape, and wanting to earn a little extra and not live paycheck to paycheck. And that is the truth. If you think that you can't be successful as a coach until you've earned 6 figures or 7 figures, you are delusional. That is not true at all. People can't relate to that type of money. Okay, most people don't earn that type of money and they can't relate to it. And in fact, that scares a lot of people. That scares a lot of people because they think it's too much responsibility for them.
Can you
and
say
it's
it
a lot
one
of responsibility.
time? Sorry.
Go for it.
No, I said, can you say it one more time?
Oh, yeah.
Feeling good, gaining confidence.
Where was I? Let's see. Feeling good, gaining confidence, building friendships, wanting to get in shape, and wanting to earn a little extra and not live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so I'm going to end, and then we'll take questions. I'm going to tell you guys to raise the bar on yourself and your business. So a couple months ago, I held an Emerald to Diamond group, and this group, I kicked their butts for an entire week. They met me on a Zoom call every morning at 5 a.m., okay? So I raised the bar for them, and I was scared to do this because I'm like, nobody's going to show up. They're going to think I'm crazy. But you know what? I wanted to work with them one-on-one. I wanted to be live with them. I wanted to go over, have calls like these with them in the morning. And the most successful people get up early and get things accomplished first thing in the morning. Okay? That's true. Cliches are cliches because they're true. So guess what? Everybody showed up. Everybody raised the bar on themselves. They still talk about that week because they got so much done. And they told themselves, wow, I actually can get up that early. I didn't know I could. We all look like death. I was not looking like this. It was horrible. We were all in our robes, coffee or E&E or Shakeology or whatever, energized. But you know what? We showed up and we raised the bar. If you're not getting up early, at least once a week to meet with your success partner, I challenge you to change that. Last August, I met with my success partner every morning at 5:30. And then from November until just about 6 weeks ago, I met with another success partner every Friday morning at 5:30 a.m. And you know what? Like, that's hard. That is not easy, but you have to raise the bar on yourself. So look at where your business needs improvement and then act. Always act more than you plan. It is so easy to read all this personal development, to plan how amazing your business is going to be, and then not act on it. I do that too. It's kind of one of those things how earlier I was saying with my excuses, I can make them so glamorous and throw glitter on them and just serve you the best BS story of why I'm not getting done what I need to get done. It's the same thing with planning more than you act. I was on a call with Joe Cardone, something from corporate. And because once you become a 2-star diamond, you get special things with corporate and whatnot, and they'll call and check in on you. And so he called to introduce himself because we got a new regional leader. And so he was talking with me, and he was talking to me about becoming elite and telling me all the numbers and blah, blah, blah. And remember, I said in the beginning of this call, this business is your business and you have to run it what works best for you. So I stopped him and I said, Joe, I said, I appreciate you trying to explain all this to me. I said, but I always struggled with math as a kid, and right now you're just throwing a bunch of numbers at me that mean nothing. And he's like, oh, okay, well, that's good to know. You guys have to speak up for what you want and what you need. You always have to speak up. So then he and I are talking, and he's like asking about how I run my business and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I do this, and then I do this, and then I have this, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you are all over. He goes, you are all over the place. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm honestly, I said, yeah, I am. I said, I'm not organized, but I act. And he's like, I'm surprised that you have been as successful as you have. He said that to me. I'm like, you jerk. But you know why? It's because I act more than I plan. And I see people plan forever, and they have all the pretty markers and all the different colors and the fine tip felt pens and all this crap. And they plan and plan and plan. And it's very seductive to get caught in that trap. Don't do it. Just act. Act more than you think, and you will be successful. I promise you that. Also remember that when you start something new, when you start a new idea or do something new on your page, it's not going to be widely accepted. I know we all like sit there waiting for 1 million likes and comments. Don't wait for validation from others to do what you want to do, because then you'll never get anywhere. So you have to know that like when you first start doing something new, it might not go over well, but if you keep doing it over and over and over, people are going to start taking notice. They're going to see your consistency, and then they're going to think like, wow, okay, she's really doing this. Like, I'm going to take notice. Fred Smith, he's the founder of a little company called FedEx, and he went to Yale in 1965, and he wrote a term paper. They were doing ideas for how to pioneer the technology age or whatever. And so he wrote a term paper on pioneering the way we do mail. And he came up with the idea to do overnight mails so people could send something and get it delivered the next day. And you know what? He got an F on the term paper. They told him that was crazy and that idea would never take off, that nobody would ever overnight anything. Okay? So he kept with it. He stuck with this idea, and he now earns around like $50 million a year. It's not enough to live on, but he's getting closer. Right? So just remember that. You have to, if you have an idea, go with it, but stay consistent. Don't just do it once or twice or 3 times and then be like, well, nobody liked it. Nobody commented. That sucked. You have to stay consistent, and then they will show up. But it first takes you believing in yourself. So ladies, I hope you got some great things from this call. Sorry I went so long. Does anybody have any questions for me? Raise your hand and I will call on you. Okay, I'm gonna go to, is it Callie? Go for it, and I'll go to Jennifer.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to ask, when does it make sense to do a like page? I'm really early on. I'm in month 3. And I'm just an Emerald coach right now. So like, I don't know, like, when does it make sense to actually transition to a like page?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday. And I don't want you to say I'm just an Emerald coach, because you need to own being an Emerald coach. And when you say I'm just an Emerald coach, you're saying that you're not that important. And that's a bullshit story you're telling yourself, and it's a limiting belief. You're an Emerald coach, girl. You are now getting team bonuses. That is awesome. And you need to look in the mirror every day and say to yourself, I'm a diamond coach. And then you'll get there. And I know it's hard, and I know it feels stupid and silly, but you have to believe it. And remember that part of the brain I was telling you about that can't differentiate between? Your thoughts create your actions. Your beliefs will always create your actions. And get this, your actions will never go against your beliefs. So if you believe that you're not that important, your actions are going to show that you're not that important. That's just how it is.
I'm working on it. Meditation, I'm working on it.
What personal development are you reading? Or
Being
listening
a Badass. Taking forever in it, but.
Okay, so are you reading it or listening to it?
Reading.
Okay, do you listen to any books?
I haven't.
Okay.
No, I like reading at night, so.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to challenge you guys with, because I'm a huge reader. I was that little kid who always was just holed up on weekends with a book. Like, I love to read. The busier I got with my business, because I was still working full-time and I was trying to do my Beachbody business, I'd go to bed to read at night, and all of a sudden, I would have to read the same paragraph like 4 or 5 times. I couldn't retain the info anymore. I used to have people tell me that, like, oh yeah, I would read, but I can't retain the info. And to me, I just thought, you're not trying hard enough. Then it happened to me, and I'm like, I get it now. It's happening. So here's the thing. I thought I would hate listening to books because I was a huge reader, but it was actually the best thing in the world. Callie, do you work outside the home?
No.
Okay, so you work in the home. Okay, so here's what I recommend. I can listen to Audible. I listen to it while I clean, while I put on my makeup. I turn on my Bluetooth speaker and I'll turn it up loud while I'm showering, things like that. So it's much more convenient than just sitting there with a book.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. What I would recommend for you, Callie, is Abundance Now. Everybody get this book. Everybody get this book. Listen to it. Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols.
I will just contest it. Like, she recommended it on the cruise to me, and it's like game changer.
Life changer. Oh, here's the great thing. I was listening to Audible for like almost a year before I knew this, and I felt so ridiculous. You can bookmark sections in Audible. There's a little plus sign, and you can hit it, and then you can type in a note for whatever section you want to bookmark to go back to. Oh my gosh, I was like, I didn't realize that. And so many books I didn't bookmark, and I was just trying to like write down a note real fast. Okay, so Lisa Nichols, she also has guided meditation in there. Whoever has anybody ever tried to meditate and you hated it because you couldn't focus? That was me. Okay, get this book and write this down. I'm going to tell you right now, because you can start doing this first thing tomorrow morning with your runner hour. I listen to the bookmark sessions of Abundance Now every single day, you guys. I don't care if I'm listening to another book. I will pause it and I'll go listen to one of these bookmark sections, because this book has been that powerful for me. Okay, so let me get my bookmarks. I know what chapter it's in. It's in chapter 9. Okay, so write this down. Chapter 9, 46 minutes and 48 seconds. So chapter 9, 46 minutes and 48 seconds of Abundance Now. Okay, that is guided meditation. It's maybe 4 or 5 minutes long, but this is how I started meditating, okay? This is how I began meditating. And guess what? I lowered my blood pressure 25 points. All right? I didn't go on medicine. I didn't take anything. My blood pressure went from 145 to 120. And the only thing I did was dump an idiot I was dating long distance, and I started meditating. I started meditating because I was going to the doctor because I was stressing out. I was having anxiety. I couldn't sleep at night. I was just not feeling good. I was feeling fatigued, and I wrote down all my symptoms for the doctor before I went in, and I showed it to her. She said, we're going to test your thyroid. We're going to test your liver. We're going to test you for sleep apnea. Everything came back negative, but she told me, she said, I think you're just stressed. And I'm like, I love my job. Like, I love what I do. What do you mean? She's like, you've been through a lot in the past year. And she goes, so just because you feel good on the inside doesn't mean that your body hasn't been through some stress. And I had been through a couple moves. I had been doing a lot. So I never had blood pressure problems in my life. I also don't like to take medicine. I don't like to take pills. I don't like to take vitamins, okay? That's why I drink Shakeology. I will take pills if I absolutely have to. But I started meditating, and my blood pressure went from 145 to 120. Meditation is powerful. Okay, Jennifer, you had a question. Go for it.
Yes, thank you. First off, this was amazing. Thank you. This is a call I needed. And I have been doing videos on my like page, and then I've been sharing them to my personal page for about 2 months now. And I do them daily, actually. I do like 10 second clips of whatever workout I've done that day, and I try to highlight 2 to 3 moves from the workout that people can do at home. Is that something you would recommend? Do you think, I know you said once a week, is that oversaturation, or?
Are you going live?
No, not live. They're like, I just record them on my phone and then I put them into pick, play, post kind of side by side and then post them.
How do you think that's been working for you?
It kind of depends on the day, to be honest. Sometimes I get a lot of feedback. Sometimes people are like, whoa, that looks really hard. And then I can comment and say, no, it's not that hard. Or sometimes they say, oh, I want to try that. I can do that. It looks good. And then other days I maybe will get 2 likes. So it just really fluctuates.
Okay, so what I would recommend, have you checked your insights on your page to see if those...
Not recently. I just started a like page like 2 months ago.
Okay. And you've been posting one every day?
Roughly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, what I think, I would recommend changing it up if you think it's not working for you. It also doesn't hurt to change things up and just see how it works for a while. Watch it for a couple of weeks, see how it works, if your engagement picks up, if your likes increase, and then keep at it. But if it doesn't work, you can always go back to it. Like, this is the thing as an entrepreneur, like it's not one straight shot. Like, it's like hailstorms, rainbows, and then you're falling off a cliff, and then you're skydiving. Like, that's being an entrepreneur. It's crazy. So you're always going to change things up and try new things. I would recommend every other day, maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then post something different in its place from when you would normally do that, and just see how it goes. You could post like a positive quote. Think about like anything that you guys like on Pinterest. Raise your hand if you have a Pinterest. Okay. So when you scroll on Pinterest, the things that you like I love the positive quotes. I love the funny memes. So I post those on my page because I want to attract people who are like me, and those things make me happy. I once heard a Beachbody coach say, don't post quotes on your page, it's stupid. And I'm thinking like, girl, please. Like, I like that stuff. I like reading that stuff, so I'm going to post it. So just try changing it up for maybe 2 weeks and just see if you feel your engagement increases. And if it doesn't, you can go back to it. I think it's smart though that you're uploading it through like pick, play, post, because I think going live all the time is not a smart move. I get annoyed when I get notifications every single day. Like, Scotty Hobbs, I love him, but he goes live all the time. I'm like, Scotty, what are you doing? Like, so I wouldn't recommend going live all the time, like maybe once or twice a week.
What do you recommend? Like, if you do go live, what would you, I guess I don't know what I would share, in a live post. In a live post,
I would do short tips or tricks or life hacks.
I was just going to say, I have like a checklist for what to do for live posts, and I can post that.
Good. You guys, if you also need creative post ideas just for your timeline or your page, go to Pinterest and type in blog post ideas, and you will be shocked at what comes up. And you can take those ideas and put them to your page. For sure. Sarah, go for it.
I have a question regarding ads for your like page. So I know you said to put 10% back in to advertising. So are you constantly running ads for your page?
When I am being good and make myself get on it, yes. But not just for likes. What I've been doing lately is I've been running ads for a coach application post.
And those are working well?
Yeah, I just actually got I got a notification. I got an application just now on the call. So, but that's the thing too. You're going to have to try and change it up and whatnot, but always market your audience with your ads. No matter what kind of ad it is, target market. So I will pick things like, okay, write this down. This is important. So when you run an ad, and I'm not trying to confuse you too much, it will tell you how many people you're going to reach. All right. It'll say it over on the right-hand side when you're doing this. If it's over 1 million people reached, that is too much of a big audience. You want it between 6 or 500,000 and 1 million people. Okay. If it's over 1 million, Stop. Limit your keywords, or play around with your keywords, because that's what does it. So I will type in things like Khloe Kardashian. I love her book. I do. I was embarrassed to buy that. I was so embarrassed, but it's actually really good. I've read it 3 times. It's really good. So Khloe Kardashian, or I'll type in The Secret. Love that movie. Raise your hand if you've watched that movie. Okay, everybody needs to watch that movie. Get through the first 5 minutes. It's awful, but then it'll change your life. You can get it on Hulu Plus or Netflix for free.
What movie is it?
The Secret.
Oh, yeah, The Secret. Okay, I thought you said another movie.
Oh, no. But so I'll type in The Secret, or I'll type in Eat, Pray, Love, one of my favorite books. Or I'll type in, I typed in Steve Harvey's Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man book. I typed in just things that I like, because what I like is going to attract other people like me. Don't type in things like Darren Hardy, Shalene Johnson, motivation, because you're going to attract a lot of other coaches, and then your money's going to be wasted. So you got to play around with the keywords, and that'll determine your range of how many people see it. I mean, it'll say like 700 million people will see this or whatever, and I'll have to like delete my keywords and then type new ones in. You just got to play around with it.
So you generally recommend, basically, like Katie Hefner has like that ideal person that she talks about, that she, this is my target person. So that's basically what you're doing, like those keywords.
Yes.
You're doing, who are like people that are just like Josie. So that's what I should be doing.
Yes.
That are like me, though.
Yeah. So if you like horses, type in equestrian stuff. Like if you're a fan of Bass Pro, type in fishing, or like whatever. And I will always pick females, ages, I think I do like 26 to 32 or 33, because that's my niche market. And you guys can go to your insights on your page, and it will tell you the age range of people who follow you, their gender, and it will also tell you, like, I think like 85% of my followers are on mobile. So I usually run all my ads only on mobile versus desktop. And I don't do much on Instagram. So I hope that helps. So play around with the keywords. Anybody else have a question? Anybody? Jennifer, go for it.
Just kind of bouncing off of Sarah's question there. I've seen a couple of different recommendations as far as the Facebook ads go. Do you recommend that you actually boost your page or boost posts, or run an ad? Because I know there's a difference between those.
That's a hard one. And that's one thing you need to play around with. Ads they're so aggravating because you have to play around with them. And I don't like to play around with things. I just want it like done. I will boost posts that I think are like really good, that like share something from my story. Or I don't know, or maybe like I once shared like a really cute like meme, and I boosted that, which I don't know if that really did much, but I usually will do more ads for page likes than I will boosting posts. I will say that. One thing I want to tell you guys real fast, I forgot to say this. Okay, write down a struggle web. Okay, so this will help you, because I know when you're trying to think of something to write about, that something you've overcome, it can be hard in the moment, okay? Like you're sitting in your car at the store, like thinking, what can I write about? Okay, so here's what I did. I wrote, my success partner and I made this, and it's called the struggle web. So as you can see, one big circle in the middle, put struggle web, all right? Then you're gonna branch out from it, all right? And you're going to put things that you've struggled with, all right? And this is gonna be your struggle web. And this way you can refer to this when you need to schedule or create a post for something you've overcame or accomplished. Because if you're not sharing your story, it doesn't matter how many workout selfies you take. It doesn't matter how cute you are. It doesn't matter if you've lost 100 pounds. People aren't going to trust you. And if you don't have trust with your audience, you don't have a business. And that is fact. So I don't like sharing about these things. It is so hard for me to share about these things, but it's important. And I truly believe that your story can be the key to unlock somebody else's prison. So you always have to remember that. The posts where you're cringing and where you want to run away from the computer and vomit, those are the posts that you need to make every single week. Okay, so let me give you an example. So in my struggle web, I put poverty. divorce, hearing loss, a toxic relationship. I put being physically uncomfortable when I was overweight. Put depression. I put getting fired. And then I put debt. Okay? So these are all things that I have overcame. And so think about things that you've struggled with in your life. And that might take more than a few minutes for you to come to, and that's okay. I also had one coach who came to me and she said, I've never been divorced. I've never been on drugs. I had a great life. I don't have a story. And I'm like, that's not true. I said, you do have a story. And I had her tell me about her upbringing and everything. She had a great childhood. She grew up playing sports. She went to college, got her degree, got out of college, got married, and she lost a little bit of weight before her wedding, but that was it. And I said, okay, but why do you do Beachbody? And she's like, because I really like it and I want it and I want something more out of life. I said, that right there is your story. I said, the fact that you did everything the right way, you did everything how you were supposed to, but yet you still felt like there was something more out there for you. I said, that's your story. I said, and Beachbody fulfills that for you. That's your story. Turns out she did have more of a story. She'd been in a toxic relationship before and she realized that down the road. But everybody has a story. I don't care who you are. And if you're comparing your story to somebody else's story, you're just doing yourself a disservice. So remember that. Don't compare yourself. Create your struggle web and go back to that and look at it. But I definitely recommend sharing your story every week, some part of it, some little part of it. And what I like to do, this is also a shock factor. Share your story, okay? And you're going to go into with like something that's, that's a little dark, okay? So Lisa Nichols calls this the dip. She says you have to take people into your dip. But you can't stay down in the dip. You have to bring them up out. Because if you stay down in the dip, people are going to feel uncomfortable and they're going to leave. So you have to take them into your dip with you, and then you have to take them over. And that's where how you overcame it, or how you're going to overcome it. Be positive, things like that. So what I'll do is I'll start it out with a shock factor that people wouldn't expect, like something that was really difficult. And then with the first sentence, all right? But I'll be posting a picture of me smiling or looking really happy, because people don't expect that. They read something horrible and then I'm like, ah, they're like, what? Like, it doesn't register because they expect to see a depressed person or something like that. So think about ways that you can play it up, all right? So that's what I recommend. And don't just be like, oh, I had a horrible childhood and it sucked, but I'm happy now. Like, go into detail about how you got happy. Everyone wants to be happier, but they don't know how. So think about things like that. And I hope the struggle web helped. Somebody had asked if I could list the 7 things over. It was 2 recipes, 2 memes, 2 positive quotes, and 1 overcome or accomplishment post. So does anybody else have any? Oh yeah, go for it, Sarah.
Sorry, I'm always full of questions.
Don't apologize. You're fine.
Are you still making connections with people at all on your personal page? Like, are you friend requesting and making connections with people on that page at all? Or are you solely 100% focused on making connections on your business page?
I do everything on my business page, but I always tag myself in my personal page to whatever post I make, like a picture, I'll tag myself. And then Facebook's weird. It depends on what device you're using, but I will go onto the computer and then I will go to my like page. I'll click on that picture, and then in the top there's a little arrow, and I'll click that arrow on the side and it'll say hidden. It'll say hidden from timeline. I've already tagged it. I tagged it from my phone. I can only tag it from my phone. So, but I go on my desktop and I go to that picture and I click on the arrow and it says hidden from timeline. I click allow on timeline, and then it will show up in my tagged photos. So that's
on your personal page.
Yeah. So I have people friend request me, but you can reach out to people on your business page. What I've done is I will send them something like, "Hey girl, thank you for the new like." Or I'll say like, I just changed my page name. It was Josie Puts Cake. Because
how do you reach out to people? Because I haven't been able to do that. Okay,
so what I'll do is I'll reach out to the new likes.
Yeah, but how do you reach out to the new likes? I haven't been able to do that.
I just click on the person and it'll take me to their timeline. And then I'll shoot them a message.
Reach out to them as Josie or as Josie Quits Cake?
as my personal page. But then I'll say, hey, I'm Josie from Joe Secrets Cake.
Okay. So you're like integrating the two in a way.
Yeah. And I'll say, I saw you just like my page. I just want to thank you for that. If there's ever anything you'd like to see more of on my page, let me know.
Cool.
I'll leave it at that.
I've been doing that too. I just didn't know. This is the balance that I'm trying to figure out right now. So all of your feedback is appreciated.
Yay. One thing I recommend is like, you have to be able to self-promote yourself, you guys. You have to self-promote yourself, because if what you say in private isn't justified in public, like if you're saying something to somebody in private, like I love my team or I love coaching it, and then they go to your page and they don't see anything much about coaching your team, they're going to be like, no, what? Like, you have to be able to self-promote yourself. So before a challenge group, I will advertise it 3 times. I will make 3 separate posts about a challenge group before the date. So I have 5 spots, or I have 10 spots for my next group. This is 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before challenge group, I advertise it 3 times. Always. This is my holy grail. Always. And so the first time I'll say I have 5 or 10 spots. All right. And I'll post about it. I usually get crickets. The second time I'll say I have 5 spots left for my next private challenge group. Always make it sound exclusive. Don't just be like, I have a challenge group coming up. Who wants to join? Don't do that. Be like, I have 5 spots left for my next private challenge group online. You will get, and I will list what they'll get from it. I'll list how great intuitive eating is, that they can do it anywhere, because I run intuitive eating challenge groups, things like that. Whatever group it is, make it sound awesome. All right. So then the last day that I give people to order a challenge pack, I say I have 1 spot left, blah, blah, blah. So those last 2 posts, I get people like crazy, because everybody loves urgency. Everybody loves urgency. So just remember that. And when I have, last December, I had been having a really hard month, and I had slacked. Part of why my blood pressure was so high. I had slacked on doing what I needed to do. And so I didn't know, like, I don't keep track of like if I'm going to be a Success Club legend or things like that. Like, I had no idea I was a legend until I think Lindsay told me or something, or congratulated me. I had no idea. Because it's not, I don't know, stuff like that doesn't motivate me. So, but I do have to hit Success Club every month 10. Like, that's a non-negotiable to me. So, I was at Success Club 4 or something on December 29th. And I was like, no, this is not happening. Like, I slacked all month. I had a shitty month. I don't care. This is not an excuse. I am not ending 2015 like this. And so I hustled like I had never hustled before. I reached out to as many people as I could, and I offered them a $25 or $20 gift card to place of their choice online if they wanted to order a challenge pack within the next 24 hours and join my private group. And I would say things like, I'm only offering this to 2 women right now. I only have 2 spots left for my next private group, blah, 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 blah. And so you guys, if you offer a $20 gift card, you're still going to make back more in commission. Like, it's not like it's going to break even. You're still going to be getting commission from that. So I ended the 31st at Success Club 12. Like, I hustled like I never hustled before. Sometimes you got to do that. But if you have to offer a gift card or anything like that, do it. I don't recommend it right off the bat. I don't like to do that right off the bat. But if it's getting close to the deadline, definitely do it. Does anybody else have any questions?
I do.
Go for it.
So can you give recommendations or ways to use, to do giveaways with products that you may have to drum new business?
I hate giveaways.
I totally told her to ask you this because you've done successful shit with this. So I told her, I'm like, ask Josie. I know nothing about this. So here's me.
Here's the thing. This is what I suggest. If you want to do giveaways, aren't wrong. Like, that's totally cool. If you want to do giveaways, I recommend only doing them as a way to thank your followers and not to gain you like don't expect anything from a giveaway. Like, anytime I expect even 1 like from a giveaway, I get severely pissed off because it never works. I don't know. It's really what you like, but Facebook also has a lot of rules with giveaways. So you have to be careful with that. And their guidelines change all the time. And you could get your page shut down if you do a giveaway like a wrong way. Like you have to always end your giveaway with, this is in no way sponsored by Facebook or blah, blah, blah. This, like all this legit legal stuff that I don't even like having to deal with. I think giveaways are a hassle. I don't like going down to the post office. Like, girl, I'm just, no. I totally recommend ads.
I guess, okay, so if not doing, do you ever do like, does anybody ever do like, or giveaways within their like just general? I just don't do giveaways at all. I don't know. I just have a hoarding of Beachbody shit in my house.
I watched a call with Katie Ursta and I like the tip that you just gave, Josie, about not expecting anything back, because I think I just made that mistake earlier this last week. I did something with likes on my page, but using as a reward where you say, I've hit this milestone, and to thank you for helping me get here, give an answer, give like 3 questions, and then say, what is your feedback? What do you want to see most of? Do you want to see like more nutrition tips? Do you want to see like more fitness tips? Do you want to see, ask for people's feedback, and then, for everybody that's given feedback, put their name in a hat and do a draw, and that's who wins it.
And that's the thing with giveaways too. It's against Facebook rules. You cannot tell people in your giveaway to comment below. You cannot tell them to like your page to enter the giveaway.
Oh, is that new? Like, they change their shit all the time.
I hate it. Like, I got so tired of dealing with it. So you can ask a question in your giveaway, but you can't say to enter the giveaway, you have to comment
like
below.
my page. Yeah, okay. All right, Nancy,
Go ahead.
I do have a recent thing about like running sweepstakes raffles from social media that I have from a recent training. I will send it to you. You have to check the update on it. It has not been like 2016. It's maybe from last year, but like, because Josie and I are talking, like their algorithm changes constantly. You don't know. But the way that I'd run it through my personal page, who I would touch base with is Tiffany Joyce. She's the one that like, she'll be like, I have 2 programs for the next 2 people, and then she'll get those challenge packs sold, and people always they scoop up those programs. So I would touch base with Tiff.
And honestly, with giveaways, you have to remember that your time is precious, and you have to focus your time on the revenue increasing activities, the activities that will bring you the most revenue.
I think it's because Francie has so much shit, she doesn't know what to do with it.
Well, and with that,
giving it away.
With that, what I would do is use it as prizes in your challenge group, and use giveaways, because so that's free money you're giving away basically, or free items, whatever. Use that to get people to order challenge packs from you, and use it in private messages. You like say if you order by this time tonight, you'll get a free blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to make you aware. I always say if you don't, that's totally okay, but I just wanted to make you aware of the special. People love specials. It can be a dime. People love specials. I'm not really an impulse buyer or anything like that, so it blows me away when people go nuts for like buy one, get one, or like little sales. I'm like, yeah, well, you'd still have had more money if you didn't buy the thing on sale. Like,
I'm joking. I could have stopped the recording before you said that.
So, no, just something to think about. Like, that's what I would use it for, is when you're trying to hit Success Club. Use it for people who will buy a challenge pack through you. Okay, real fast. We got to take a selfie. So, everybody smile. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, everyone looks so pretty. Okay, great.
Thank you so much, Josie. I mean, I can't even thank you enough for